Good morning, guys. Perfect day outside for a road trip. Today we're going to Fresno, California, like 3.5 hours away from LA. So there's a casino there. We want to try the games, and at the same time there's the Sequoia Park, if the name is correct. We're gonna visit that, but first the plan is today go to Fresno, play some poker there tonight, and tomorrow go visit the Sequoia Park, and we're gonna vlog about it. Let's go. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm weak for you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Now I'm trying to let you go, but I'm always losing control. Is that what you want me to do? Now I'm trying to let you go, but I'm always losing control. Is that what you want me to do?
How do you feel, Don Marinescu?
Feel great. Driving, relaxing after a full week of poker. It's therapy. Alright, now we just stopped for a dinner break or breakfast break and to change the driver. And here we are. When you want to eat healthy, you have to bring your own food, because in America, guys, things are bad with food at restaurants, so you can't really find good option. But what we have from home is this: sardines and boiled eggs, two of my favorite foods and two of the best foods ever to be invented by my standards. We also found that Mexican food truck. We bought a cheese quesadilla, but that's not very healthy and it was not very good. Yeah, we just open it up and eat whatever the toppings were. Anyway, back to the road.
Still, you're my medicine. Yeah, I need it, I need it. You light a fire just to put me out again. Yeah, I need it.
And we arrived at the hotel, motel, whatever this is. The typical American motel. We're gonna leave our luggages here and then head directly to the poker room, Club 1 Casino. Right, let's see the room. Actually looks very decent. The bed. The bed is good. We have a mini kitchen, a huge fridge, empty fridge.
Oh, that's why it's extended stay America, I know. The name of the hotel or motel, it's extended stay America.
You tired?
Yeah, I'd like some sleep.
You want to play some poker?
No, I'm to sleep.
Let's go play some poker.
No.
Or you want to sleep for 30 minutes first?
Maybe.
Right, so we arrived at the casino. We have a problem. We don't have coins to pay the parking, and they don't accept cards. So we have to first find a store to exchange some money. You want to buy a donut so you can have change?
No.
Yes, this is what she wants. This is what she does.
No, that's not true.
She's searching for opportunities to always eat sweets.
I will show you that I will not buy donuts. We have sweets from 1 week ago.
That one was closed. Alright, we're going to casino. We're gonna solve this problem later.
Problem solved. We
Yeah,
can do
just
nothing.
postpone your problems, guys.
Maybe you don't need to solve them anymore.
Yeah. All right. So, unfortunately, the games at this casino are not very high. Currently, there's only one single table of 1-3, no limit. But what I'm hoping for is that they will later open a 2-5 with the Rock. So I called a few days and they said that they have Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays, and today is Monday. They say they have this 2-5 with the Rock, and how this plays out is that the winner of the hand puts $10 in the next pot, and the action starts after him. So those $10 act as a straddle. So basically, if I win the hand, then next hand I'm in middle position, I put $10 in the pot, and then the action starts after. This creates some very good action. The pots are bigger, the stakes are higher, and hopefully we're gonna get to play that game tonight. If not, we're gonna play the 1-3 game, and maybe we'll do some coaching. Maybe Anda's gonna stay beside me and we'll discuss some hands, or maybe we're gonna play in the same table. Who knows? Let's go and dive into the games, and later we come back with an update. Alright guys, break time. Interesting session. So I played with Anda in the same table, 1-3, no limit. The game very juicy. Like every pot was 4 to 6 handed, and players, like, they don't even know how to properly watch their cards. So not to offend anyone, but this is a sign that they don't have too much experience at the poker table. So yeah, it's nice. Unfortunately, Anda didn't run very well. She had some pocket jacks, 3-betted pre-flop, and then got it all in on an 8-high board, and the other guy called with 8-9 and caught an 8 on the river. Other than that, she had many hands open. She 3-bet. She was very active in the table. And she got back some of the money lost. I think she ended up a small winner. And now I am getting ready to start a new game of 2-5, the game with the Rock. So I'm gonna go back in there, and later we're gonna talk about some hands. Bye. Alright guys, end of the session. How do you feel?
Booyah!
How do you like the casino?
The casino was a shithole, but the people are nice and the dealers are fast.
Yeah, so
And the fish are big.
yeah, the casino looks very old and dirty. So yeah, it does look like a shithole, but people inside are very friendly. I was very surprised by that. Very different than Los Angeles. And another thing I liked was the dealers. Very good dealers. Like compared to dealers you find in
Super
commerce, or I don't know. So these dealers were as professional as you can get. Fast. They know what they're doing. The action keeps going, so you can play a lot of hands, and that's always good. What else? The games, very good. very good. But we're gonna talk about that when we are going to talk some hands, but that's gonna be tomorrow because I'm too tired now to discuss hands.
Yeah, it's like almost 5 in the morning.
Yeah, other than that, they have some weird thing with jackpot, and
With Strado.
yeah, they have
Mississippi Strata.
Mississippi straddles and different rules, but it's all good. So overall, a very nice casino, very nice place to play at, and very good games, which is very important. So for now, we're gonna go to sleep, and tomorrow we're gonna discuss how we did tonight in the games, how much we won, what hands we had, stuff like that. guys. And we overslept. The maid wake us up at 11:15, and they had a policy that if you overstay by 15 minutes, also
15.
yeah, until 15 minutes, it's $30 or 15.
$15.
15.
After 15 minutes, it's one night.
One night of stay for us extra because we overstayed, and we managed to rush out and do a shower, do our luggages in 13 minutes. But they were nice and didn't charge us. Okay, we finally got some food, and I was not feeling very well, but now she's fine. Now we made a stop to this beautiful scenery that you can see right there, and I think it's time to go into some of the hands that we played last night. Alright guys, we finally arrived at Sequoia National Park. These trees are huge. These trees right here, it says that they have around 2,000 years. So look at this guy. This guy has 2,000 years, 2,200 years. That's sick. But enough with trees. Let's talk a hand. All right, so this is gonna be interesting because of the rock that I was telling you about. Okay, so the rock was in the small line, and what's interesting is that I thought that the action starts after the rock, but actually it does not. So everybody acts before the rock, and the rock gives you the right to act last, pre-flop. This is how it goes. Yeah, so there's a limp. I raised to 50 with ace-jack offsuit, and I get called in the cutoff, and then the rock, which was the small blind, calls as well. Flop comes ace-ace deuce. Flop $150, I see bet $50, small blind folds, cutoff makes it $150. At this point I really think he's bluffing because of my small bet. The turn is another ace giving me 4 of a kind, and he bets 225. I think for a while and I call, and he immediately folds right away on the turn. He doesn't even wait for the river, and he said he had 3-4, but I don't know what to say. It might make sense, right? Because a straight probably doesn't help him at this point. If I call the turn, probably I have a pair at least. So I had the 4 of a kind. Unfortunately, there was a high hand, a word that I was not aware of, so I didn't show my hand and I lost the prize, which was $50. Not very high compared to what they offer in Los Angeles, which is usually between $300 and $500. But I'll take this pot anyway. In this other hand, the hijack player is the rock. The middle position limps. Then the action jumps to me in the cutoff, and I make it 50 with ace-8, and I get just one call from the middle position player. Flop is 10-jack-8, all hearts. He checks, I check back. Turn is a 5, he checks again, I bet 50, he calls, and river doubles the 8, which gives me trips, and he leads out 100. I make it 325. He folds immediately, so I guess he was bluffing. So we take this spot down 2.
Away.
this next hand, I am the rock, and I am in the hijack, and there are 8 limpers before me. If I include the big blind. So basically everybody is calling 10, and then behind me everybody is calling 10 as well. And now I'm the last to act, and I have 6-8 suited in hijack, and I make it $80 and everybody folds. This is a simple hand that shows you the power of this rock. But this is more in theory, because in practice you don't really have fold equity. This is the only time I raised and won the pot pre-flop. So any other time I raise, no matter the size, I always get at least one call. So it's still you still have to have good hands to raise here, because you really get called. But an interesting thing to note about how the rock works is that, let's say everybody limps before me and I'm in the hijack, it skips me, then the action goes to the cutoff, and let's say the cutoff raises, button calls, small and big folds. Then the action doesn't continue to the initial limper, because they already acted once. The action goes to me, because I'm the only one who hasn't acted. And then if I call, then the action goes back to the first limper, and it continues from there, which is very, very weird, because it can create like all sorts of dynamics. For example, cutoff raises, then the action comes to me, and I can raise again, then the limper can re-raise, and then the action goes back to the cutoff player and then go back to me, and then it always skips me and then goes back to me before the under the gun player. It just creates weird dynamics. I had a few spots where I had to take a minute to think about what's going on here and formulate a strategy for the current situation. Check this out, guys. Active bear area. We hope not to run into a bear today. Hospital Rock. What were they doing here?
Indian tribes used to come here and pray for help and stuff like this, and paint the rock. If
Stupid
you look
people.
there,
Why would they come here when you can just go to a hospital? So far so good. I was up $2,000, but at this point the cards started to go against me, and I had plenty of hands where I was forced to give up on medium made hands and medium pots, which happened pretty often. One such a hand is this one. Small blind is the rock. Early position limps. I make it 60 from the cutoff with king queen offsuit. Button calls, early position calls. Flop is 7-4-3, 2 diamonds, everybody checks. Turn brings a queen of clubs, and early position bets 125. I call, button calls as well. This guy from early position was the same guy against whom I played the previous hand with pocket deuces. So we see a river which is a 7, and he bets again 300 into 560. So now I'm thinking about the previous hand where he bet small with a medium hand on that board, so to speak. And now he bets big, so that means that he's more polarized towards stronger hands or bluffs. But as I've seen him, he was not the opponent to bluff very much, and especially against 3 people. And especially when I could easily have ace queen myself here, or even aces, but I'm not sure that he knows that. So being out of position against 2 players he bets big, I think this is more often than not weighted towards value, and I think he can also have ace queen played like this, because I've seen these guys play very passively with ace king, ace queen, or even jacks or tens. So given the fact that I also have the guy behind me who can easily have a 7, this guy can easily have a 7, he can have ace queen as well, he doesn't seem to be the bluffy type, I decided to lay this down. Optimal in GTO, this is not a correct fold to make, but I think exploitively I can make this fold. And he actually shows me 2 queens. Yeah, he actually slow played 2 queens pre-flop, played very weak. Another similar hand where I had to lose small. Early position is rock. Another guy in early position, middle position makes it 50. I call 50 in hijack with queen jack of spades. Button calls as well. The flop is jack 9 5. Middle position bets 50 into 160, which is on the weaker side. I could raise here, but given the fact that there's no flush draw on the board, I have the queen which blocks some draws, I think I'm pretty safe to just call here. But the button raises to 180 and it folds to me. I call. Turn, it's an ace of spades, and now I have a flush draw to go with my second pair now, and I have to call his $275 bet on the turn, and the river doubles the ace, and I check, he checks back, and he wins with king jack. So this hand, actually he played it pretty good. He took max value, he raised, and I think he could have gained one more street of value on the river, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, so nothing much happened for the rest of the night. There were a few other interesting hands, but I was too tired to write them down. But I think it's enough for the moment. But Anda has a hand for you guys, I think. Do you have a hand? Come here. So your night was not like you run bad in the beginning. You lost those jacks. I told them about those jacks.
Yeah.
And then
I had a few hands I was raising, and I took the pot on the flop or pre-flop, nothing special. And after that I was like for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half card dead. I mean, I was just fold. And finally I have ace jack off from hijack. I'm 90 behind.
so she's playing $1-3.
Yeah.
Playing short stack, 30 big blinds. Push or
Yeah.
fold, basically. Okay.
The guy in the middle is open 15, and I decide here to raise to 35. Usually I'm a little too early to make the raise, but because I didn't have cards all the whole hour, I decided to just raise. The small blind, the UTG that was a limper, calls, and the guy that raised, that opened initially, re-raised 135. Now it's my turn. I have like 65 more, 67. And I know that ace jack off, it's not a hand that I will go with all in. But because I knew the 2 guys after me, they're like big fish, and I was sure that they will call, I decided to just go in. I mean, the case was I was thinking I'll lose $65 or I'll win like almost $380, $360. So I went all in. The guy next to me, the small blind, and also the UTG calls. They're deeper than me. And the flop came jack, queen, 2, rainbow. So the middle bets again $200, the small blind folds, and the UTG calls $200. On the turn came the 2. The guy pushed the middle bets 50 more because UTG had left 50. The guy from UTG has pocket fives, so he played like more than 300 with pocket fives.
With overcards on the flop,
Yeah,
especially.
limp, co. The player from the middle had ace king off, so I win the hand. Unexpected winning there. I mean, four way.
Yeah, well, you said it yourself. Like if
Yeah.
you win big,
Yeah,
and that's one of the better flops for you. You don't really wanna see an ace on the flop
yeah,
because
for sure. I'm not
pretty
good
often
with
you're
an ace.
beat.
Yeah, I mean, I was sure that I'll beat the small blind and UTG range, but the open range, for sure, I knew when I called it that I will not beat his range, but I was hoping that he'll miss or he has a pair smaller than my pair and I'll catch a jack or an ace, which happened. So
Yeah, so overall you won like $300.
325.
Yeah, I won like 600 or so. So we booked the win. Eventually, I also hit a four of a kind again, and I won the $50 for the high hand. You also had a
Yeah.
four of a kind that you didn't know
I had-
existed, and you
I
lost.
didn't knew that is a high hand on that casino, but I had kings, and on the flop came king, something small.
Yeah,
But I was just winning on the flop.
yeah.
That's it.
That's it. So it was a successful trip.
And
Good
a
to know
nice
about.
one.
Yeah, good to know about this place. Very nice people again, like I said, and for sure we want to come back here. But unfortunately, we are preparing to leave the U.S. Sometimes soon. So
Yes.
until next time, good luck at the tables. See you.
Bye.
Blue face, it bust another. Blue face, it bust another.